Hello everyone, it's me. I've got the Red Scott Gamer with me.
Hello everyone, it's also me, the Red Scott Gamer. I'm the last sane person left in Boletaria.
Right, I should
How are we doing?
probably get my phone up. So otherwise I won't be able to fucking see.
I can't fucking see. Forgive me, I am still halfway through eating my dinner. But I will mute myself. This is too damn tasty.
Yep, there we go. What dinner? You thrive on human souls.
Delicious human souls. Demons' souls. But are humans not the true demon or something?
Don't you love it in this game when they go, "You're looking for demon souls, are you?" It's like, "Oh, look, are you looking for the video game?" England is slowly turning into Australia. The heat is disgusting and the spiders are growing. Yes, the hands, I did warn you, but I was literally on a call with you, fella. This day I was informed. Oh. Of a great and beautiful stream? Or just informed? Personally, I love spiders. That's fantastic, Jack.
I'm gonna be honest, I can't see anybody loving spiders and not being some kind of sociopath.
You think?
Like, I can understand not hating them, necessarily. Or just like, they're whatever, they're fine, they don't like creep me out or anything, I'm okay with them. But like, loving them? I don't know. That seems like it requires a bit of introspection.
Bit of a look at yourself.
You don't understand, Shepard. You see, they have 8 legs. 8! That's like 2 more than 6. It's just neat. I just think they're neat, Shepard.
8 legs. 8. That fucking... I hate that video. It's infested my life. That bloody Breaking Bad YouTube poop. Ape.
Ape. Okay. Right. Look up the Pikachu spider. That's a spider you could like. I mean, there are some spiders
That doesn't
I like.
sound
I like the one
very
that's... I can't remember what it's called, but the one with the giant old eyes. The little fuzzy one. No, I don't care for this. I don't care for the Pikachu spider. I would kill it like the rest.
But you'd punish it.
I would punish it most severely
I've become
by
a
putting it in a
floating
glass
head
and then outside. Spiders eat the mosquitoes and other vermin. Well, just don't have mosquitoes, and then you won't need spiders either. That's my solution. Just don't have bugs.
Just don't have bugs. I am in human form, but I don't care. If this world gets ruined tendency-wise, I'm not actually missing out on a load.
Sorry, I was going to go back to eating there, but I have to read this out. Reg says, I'm not a fan of spiders, but I've grown as a person. I used to kill them on sight, but now I tolerate them and just shout slurs at them. You know what? I'm glad to see some character growth there.
I feel like I have witnessed you swear at a spider at least once on a call before.
Why do people let spiders in their house? Are they stupid? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Nah, I try not to kill spiders. I do tend to. I was just thinking about this today, actually, because there's a bunch of spiders at work, so I always have to deal with them. I'm a glass and cardboard kind of guy, you know. Scoop them up, take them away.
I love how most people would have like built like a whole fancy knight character to have the moonlight greatsword, and I've given it to someone called Condom Man. I'm just... I don't know what that says.
Then just move the hands.
Just move.
Are you stupid?
We've got lots of oaths. Just move. You asshole.
Just move.
It all depends on the size. If it's a small, cute spider, I'll gently remove it. But if it's bigger than my hand, and it's going to get slippered. can hear you moaning at us. I can hear you going, oh, fuck off. I can hear it in my head. The spiders take care of it? What, are they like doing all your household chores for you?
Need to file your taxes? Don't worry, the spiders will take care of it.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Do you think you could file it out again? Fucking comes down from the roof. And it's like spider with a little pen and a clipboard in his hand. Cannot carry. It would overburden you. I feel like I'm being fucking burdened at the moment.
You, Scary, give Sparkly me. Give Twinkly me. Me. You. Trade. Trade. Give me Sparkly, Twinkly.
Right. Will you accept a religious artifact? Right, here you go. Have a talisman of God. Have that.
Sparkly, happy, happy.
Hang on, you're meant to... Do I have to fucking quit the game for you to trade with me? How does this work?
That's how it worked in Dark Souls 1, so probably.
Right. Okay.
Wait, no, but hold on. In this game, you quit the game, you get sent back to Nexus. So that's no good. I'm just searching. Apparently, yeah. You drop it, you wait for it to respond, you quit to menu, then reload.
Okay, let's give this a try.
Sparkly, happy, happy.
I don't know, Datura. Do I sound okay now?
Stevens just sound like a glitch. Oh, look, the thing is, I am genuinely not doing... If he is, I am not doing anything wrong to make him sound like one. It has to just be some OBS setting, because I don't know why no other application apart from Discord has audio bugs. And I really don't have a fucking clue as to why. It was just for a few seconds. Okay. That's not me moaning at you, but that's just me generally saying how annoying it is that Discord is the only thing that does this. I actually nearly fucking shat it then. I thought,
You, Sparkly, happy, happy. Give me Sparkly, Twinkly, please. Please, give, give.
I actually thought the crow just nicked from me without actually giving me anything.
Apologies, still eating. That crow has got to kick its crippling meth addiction. Sure does. Needs it sparkly. I have no idea what Reg is talking about, but I'll read it out to you anyway. Max Branning, the man you had an affair with whilst married to his son, is the best Souls boss.
Say. You can't keep doing this, Reg. You can't keep making jokes that only like me and you understand. It's a little bit. You risk alienating people. You risk becoming
Lily
an
has been
alien.
blinded. Lily has been blinded by the sun. Went to see if the sun had gone down enough to open my curtains. Took a peek out and it shone right into my eyes. It was waiting for me. You got ambushed. Alright. My role as chat reader is done. I return to my food. Farewell.
I wonder what Stephen's eating. Insert soup joke here.
Chimkin curry.
So, Stephen, apparently they're asking you questions, even though you're the one fucking eating. So, Stephen, I've heard Sam's detailed opinion on Starfield today, but I'm still waiting the RSG certified Starfield retrospective. That sounds like some sort of furry thing to me. A retrospective. Is it like a retrospective, but I don't know, Stephen would be like a big Tony the Tiger man or something like that.
I gotta get a fursuit for it. Is that it?
Yeah, it's a lot of effort for Starfield, I'm gonna be honest.
Gotta stand there in front of a green screen with Starfield in the background.
If you're rippling Tony the Tiger physique.
Tried to make a joke on future retrospective, but I messed up the word. A futurospective, I guess. Okay, fine. I'm just trying to happily eat my curry here in peace, but people are demanding answers. Don't avoid the question. I don't know what you actually want from me. I haven't played Starfield.
Well, he wants you and your eternal, I was gonna say Nepo baby wealth, but
What?
use your vast fortune to purchase an Australian copy of Starfield.
I can't do that.
Why did I go for like $120?
Because video games are banned in Australia, and so it's like prohibition.
Ah,
You know, everything's you got to smuggle it over the border, over the land border that Australia famously has to Mexico to get copies of Starfield. Todd just
I
smuggled
love
at
a
the
good
back of the hatch.
geography lesson.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit torn on Starfield. Sometimes it looks, I can't even say great. It just looks like something that could keep my attention for a while, and then other times it looks like a not so good one of those games. I don't know.
Like I
need to play it
I will
myself.
say basically what I've said from the beginning. I'm more interested in watching like Oda stream it than I am actually playing it myself. Because I'd much rather watch someone infuse over something more than I could possibly hope to infuse over it. It's kind of like with anything, like when you see someone, I don't know, like for me, I would get no fun out of, I don't know, sort of making a meal, but watching someone who like enjoys making one, you know, that's quite fun. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you're like that with your 40k people.
Yeah, I mean, I have more fun like listening about 40k than I think I ever will actually playing the goddamn game. Maybe it was just the game modes were bad, but hey ho. No, I mean, like, there's things about Starfield that I like the look of. The weapons, for one thing. I think we both agree they look fucking stunning.
Oh, they do. I love the amount of like wooden stock weapons on them.
You love wood, don't you, Sam?
I do. I love wood.
I'm still waiting to see some better armors, like or spacesuits, whatever they're called. Just outfits generally. I like to fashion the souls a bit in these games. Fashion fields, fashion Stesda. I don't know. I don't know what the Bethesda version is. Yeah, and I don't know. I've been seeing a sampling of some of the faction quests, which I'll be honest, I do not give a fuck about the main quest. And from what I've heard, Oh dear, that was close. From what I've heard, the XP drop from side quests is garbo, and you kind of need to do the main quest. But it's just not that interesting to me. It's just like, oh, we found space artifact. Let's go find all the space artifacts. Like, we haven't done that in every other sci-fi game from the last 20 years. But, who knows, it might get better. Hopefully. I do not care for the companions, although I have heard people be like, I really love the Constellation British lady who always tells you to stop picking up items.
I just heard
She was
people
the
really
best
like
companion.
the cowboy name.
Okay, I've not heard that. Oh wait, no, is this the one people were complaining about having the option to romance him as a dude?
Yeah.
And they were like, how dare this game turn me into a gamosexual? It's like, it's an option, my guy. Jesus. California, at it again.
You're right.
I've not really looked that closely at the guns because they look a bit Call of Duty-esque. Not exactly anything jumping out at me like the Mass Effect assault rifle or the Halo gun. I mean, it's not. I don't think they're really going for anything that's like iconic in the way of like, you know, the Halo gun. I'm just gonna call that. You know, like this weapon that you could totally identify as like, yeah, that's from Halo, that's from Mass Effect, or
What, the
whatever.
assault rifle?
I think it's just like, they're just generally solid designs. Which I guess I just like it because I really didn't like the gun designs in Fallout 4, so it's a nice, refreshing take. Like, they look real, but interesting enough.
I really
be
hope
what
they
it
don't
comes
go
down to.
back to pipes in Fallout 5, Fallout, insert name here for spin-off, whatever they call it. Please don't. No more pipe. We've gone past the need for pipe now. All the pipe is gone.
So it doesn't strike me as they're trying to make guns that look really iconic. It just looks like they're making guns which look really at place in the world. I kind of compare it to like the Killzone weapons, which I really, really like. Even if not many people outside of like me, because I am certified as the world's biggest Killzone fan, could like point and say like, yeah, there's the STA-52 Helghast main combat rifle. Look at it with its carry handle and grayness. But like they just look real. They look like something that could totally exist. What game has the worst gun design? Oh no, that's a question. Sure, of course. I don't even know. Worst game design in any game? All I can think of right now is my brain is just screaming Fallout 4 at me, though I know it's not true. I just really... it just bothers me, some of the weapon designs in that game. Okay, I get that to hands. Again, I've not seen enough of the game to really get a feel for this. Only in the last stream I watched of Odaz did I start to be like, oh, I kind of like how each faction sort of seems to have its own weapon aesthetic. Like there's a ranger sort of cowboy western faction in the game, and there's a whole bunch of like woodstock revolvers and rifles and shotguns. That's like, oh yeah, there's the cowboy weapons. And then you have like the corpos, the very cyberpunk stuff, and it's like, yes, the eye pistol. I called it the other day. It was like this handgun, which was just solid white plastic, just a big rectangle. But again, I would need to see more to really
it kind of looked
finalize that
purposely
opinion there.
soulless in design.
Yeah, all the pirates use like ramshackle kind of, I don't know, just weapons. Like the SMG, the really, really rapid fire one, which has like the aliens style pulse rifle ammo counter on it, and like random tubes and stuff going around. I'm sure it has like a battery strapped on with duct tape somewhere, probably for that bullet counter. I don't know. You're saying it's missing a design through line between different design companies. In Star Citizen, you can tell which ship was built by which company. Well, there may be an issue because Starfield is going for the customizable ship thing. I'm not sure how unique. Oh, that's not the right word. Because every ship could be unique, but all in the samey kind of way. It's like it's like building your own settlement in Fallout 4, except they all end up kind of looking the same because There's only so much you can do with their system. You know, it's like on paper it's a unique ship, but it's also just kind of the same building blocks. Yeah, I would like to see some completely different designs. The eye pistol was cute though, it was. The pacifier and the lawgiver, Sam. Was that the name of the revolver that was one-shotting those bank heist people?
I think it is. Yeah, I like.
That was good.
Yeah, that was. I will say this, that the gunplay actually, I don't know how it's better than Fallout. Not implying that Fallout is like 10 out of 10. This is somehow breaks the fucking scale. But like, I didn't expect slightly better looking gunplay, but you know, there it is.
That particular gun that I think you're talking about, because I watched back that stream and I saw it was the one that you were really like, oh, I like that. It looks like the 233 pistol.
It does.
In Fallout, especially like if you get the New Vegas classic weapons mod, like the model almost looks the same shape. Pacifier was the shotgun. The compact shotgun. Right. Yeah, that one looked quite good as well. I hate this guy. I think you must have higher magic resistance than me, because he can almost one-shot me every time he gets me with one of those little
oh, condom man,
finger
what have you stepped
blasts. Open the door. Oh no.
on? In the pit.
Every future game gun looks like it was made in a 3D printer. It's Nerf or nothing. Not entirely sure what you mean by it's Nerf or nothing. Like, are you holding Nerf weapons as like the high standard here? Or are you saying every
Saying it looks like a
game
Nerf gun.
looks like Nerf
Yeah.
guns? That is what you kind of want to avoid. I'm kind of picky about gun designs in games. Like, my real pet peeve is like the unnecessary LED lights on guns. Just unnecessary bits to make it look futuristic-y. You know, which Nerf guns totally have going.
Also, we've got our patches now.
It's like we drew a big red stripe on it. Makes it shoot faster.
Hey, don't turn a cold shoulder. I didn't mean to do you wrong. Really? Come on now. We've got better things to fret about.
Mute myself.
That pit there is filled with treasure. But, I can't get to it myself. Go on, have a look. It's more riches than I've ever dreamed of. Don't hold it against me, eh? Take your time, starving to death. Then I'll sell every last trinket off your corpse.
The remake did it better. Stephen, you can come back now.
Eating.
Oh, okay. I'll just use this excuse to talk to Saint Urbain, who I feel a little bit uncomfortable running into, considering I just abandoned my faith talisman. So is that like abandoning God in this world? I hope not, because apparently this must be a sign of something.
Heavens! Did you fall for that little devil's trap? Well, I did the same. He fooled me, and now I am stuck here. The reverberations seem to suggest that we are connected to the outside. But dark, fearsome souls stand between us and freedom. But have no fear. God will cleanse us of evil.
And I'm done.
Pray with
God,
me.
I look horrifying
Umbasa.
like this. Condom man gone bad.
Heavens! Did you fall
Got
for
such
that little
beady
devil's
little
trap?
eyes.
Well, I did the same. He fooled me, and now I am stuck here. The reverberations seem to suggest that we are connected to the outside. But pray with me, Umbasa.
Umbasa.
Um,
Hayden. Lily says that pipe weapons are the gun equivalent of the shitey wooden goblin club from John Fantasy IV. Whatever that means. Just the. But I like goblin clubs.
these
ton of this
goblin
game with
clubs
the goblin club.
serve a purpose.
You can bonk characters.
Oh, if you want an easy mode for this game, just use the butcher's knife. But you wouldn't think it, considering I'm using like the FromSoft weapon, which is the Moonlight Greatsword. But honestly, just use the giant butcher's knife. It's worth it. It's worth the little bit of faith investment because it does physical and magic, the two you really need to care about. Like the only boss that really requires any fire damage is literally the end game boss. But even then, you can beat him without it.
Oh, it's you.
Adds a spoiler to the back of
Did
my
you
gun
cleanse
to
the
reduce
world of
drag.
another
You can't
dark
stop me,
soul
liberal.
today?
You can't stop me.
God has chosen you.
I will admit,
And
the
for
first time
that
I
we
read
are
that, you said
thankful.
add a spoiler to the back of my gun. I
Umbasa.
was thinking, what, you just like post that Darth Vader's Luke's dad or something? Slap that on the back of your gun? By the way, I'm still going to get Starfield, says Reg. I'm going to make another Roy, and he's going to be a scumbag space pirate. Well, I hope that being a scumbag space pirate is actually a legitimate option.
I actually really hope it is.
I just want to be a John Bounty Hunter, honestly. Not even necessarily in the way of like, I mean, although I probably would join the actual Rangers faction just to fully round it out, but no, I just want to make a ship, take on some kind of task board bounties, and then just travel around making some money.
I regret
Just
to inform
Mandalorian
you
it.
we have another patches.
You do indeed.
You. Hey, look, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean what I said.
You want to talk to him? There you go.
I mean, a man's got to make a living, right? Here, look. I can make up for it. There aren't many humans like us. We need to stick together. I know. Here, take this as a token of my friendship. You've seen one of these before, surely.
Is Patches the last sane person left? In Boletaria?
I actually think he could be.
Come on, let's be friends. What
That
do you
Blige
say?
man doesn't count.
need
That's
to
just
drag
another
each other
patches
down.
clone.
Dahan
No
says,
need to
I'm going to
drag
hold off on Starfield until they implement acceptable capital ships. I don't care very much for the fighter, heavy, grunge core space opera. Yeah, I have been wanting to know what the largest size of ship there is in the game that you can make or find.
Because I saw someone make their own version of the Normandy, and it looked very small. So I am a bit concerned about the maximum ship size. I really wish people didn't resort to saying the same thing though about this game. The whole, oh, don't worry, the modders will just fix anything we don't like. It's like, can we just have them release a game that is like in like the shape that people want it to be at launch? Is that possible?
Bethesda? Who do you think you're talking
I
about?
know, but it's like, ugh. Ooh. I'm gonna kick your little ass.
I
Ooh.
hated this this walkway. I think you're doing better with the big old sword. It does a lot of damage to them as well. But I'll come in here with my starter weapon.
Oh fuck
Or my
that.
mace or whatever it was. Ugh. Not so much these first three, but the next two.
Oh,
while also getting
no.
shot by the stingrays.
You've reminded me it's these two fuckers next. Ray?
Yeah.
Bloody Steve Irwin things. Get...
Pro tip to help with the heat: if you get ice cream from the freezer and it's too hard to eat with a spoon, just pop the spoon in the microwave for 30 seconds or so to make it scoop easier. That's a great tip, Lily. Putting a metal object into the microwave is generally a dangerous idea, even for a short time. Yes.
Real.
I like that. Sorry, to clarify, I assume that everybody here knew that.
Yeah.
And they all thought that Lily was making a joke, but just in case anyone didn't,
This-
don't put metal in the microwave.
I know I'm getting
Or you'll be
shot
sent
at.
back in time, according to Futurama.
This
Um,
fog gate looks lovely. I love this
And then
light
you'll
blue.
become your own granddad. Yeah.
Such a. That's so much. I fucking hate Elden Ring's piss fog gate. It's so. It just conjures up such a negative feeling in me. It only looks good in Moog's Palace because I can believe that Moog could have a piss wall.
Sorry, I laughed at that, Lily, but I know the story and I feel bad. I don't want to be me granddad. He falls off ladders. I hope he's doing okay. Last I heard, he was.
What the? Oh, fucking hell! Not this bloody thing again.
Oh, the Reaper laser. Yeah. Again, you must have pretty good magic resistance because that was almost an insta-kill for me.
On my other character, it was an insta-kill, nearly. I would basically have like
What are you
a.
doing with this character then? Is it your armor?
Is it my up?
Is the condom hat? Are you protecting yourself?
Is it the reflections of the chain?
Magic to. Oh, I was reading that. Never mind. The liberals won't even let me put metal in the microwave anymore to heat up my lead paint pie. For shame. Also, I'm not sure if you're aware that's Dom here.
Fuck
Here,
off.
go to say hi.
Whose dog hair? What?
Dom is here.
Oh, hello.
Dominus Ignis. The Dominus Ignis.
I can't lie, I wasn't expecting you to be here, and I don't even have a good reason as to why, so I'm glad you are.
Paul Ball had a nasty fall when he was frightened by the ghost of his former employer. For Sam. I know it too, Reg. Funny enough, my granddad fell off a ladder once and broke his shoulder in all sorts of places. He had the bright idea of setting up a ladder in a stairwell and had quite the fall.
A nasty fall, where he was haunted by the ghost of his former employer.
Oh, here's an update. He fell again doing gardening,
Oh,
not off a
fuck's
ladder,
sake.
while his back is covered in bruises. He's fine, but a stubborn bastard who won't accept he's 91. Jesus, just fucking tie him down to a chair somewhere. Just tie him down, put him in front of the telly, feed him Werther's Originals. No more climbing for him. His simian days are done. They're hiring a gardener. Good. Oh dear! So I just saw you get locked in there by the one who spawned
This
behind
isn't
you.
very good because, as you can see, the Necromancer is very magic resistant. Fucking hell. I'm all bloody about magic. Hang on.
Shut up, Melon. No one likes magic.
Fucking hell, hang on a second.
Elderly people with ladders are like newborn turtles on a beach. They just know what to do. Oh no. Huh? What's going on? Oh dear. Sam has abandoned us. Natural selection. Old cunts and ladders. Old cunts and ladders? Isn't that a board game? They put him on a channel that only plays Dad's Army 24/7. There are worse things.
Right, I'm back now. Cat is being fed.
Elderly people on ladders are like Jeff Hardy on ladders, and Sam will know what I mean. I guess he knew what you meant.
Fucking going through.
Sam is leaving us to die in the Nexus.
I'm gonna have to just hope one of my other weapons is up to the fucking task of smacking these people around.
What was I using? Just my mace, my spiky Morningstar. Did them in like 2 or 3 hits.
What, specifically the necromancers did it?
Yeah.
Okay, because the ghosts are very weak to magic, as you can tell.
Oh. Also, the spear wasn't too bad either. I found the ghosts. My spear was better against the ghosts. But then I think your magic's fine against them. Is it?
Fuck this.
Well, that's the thing. You've built your whole character around. Oh, that was not very good. Around magic, where I had the spear for dealing with the miners. The miners. Yeah, stabbing them, shanking them. But they're also weak to magic, so you were just doing it with the enchanted falchion, right? Let's see if this works.
I might as well just bother, couldn't I?
Not going well. Yeah, just stick with the big sword. I'm not very well. Don't know if allergies or if I'm getting my comeuppance for stealing all the school Lego, you son of a bitch.
Well, hopefully you feel a bit better soon after you've co-opted a few bosses to pay your penance.
And to stab children with spears. Well, you gotta download the killable children mod. It's a tradition. Oh, those slugs, by the way, Sam, they drop sticky white stuff. Not that you need that, come to think of it, because you literally have the sticky white stuff incarnate sword. But anyway, the more you know.
The more you know about sticky white stuff, the better.
Yeah, we all gotta learn about sticky white stuff.
I hope we all know about that on this fucking stream.
Oh! Sorry, I just remembered which boss this is.
Oh dear, I've just remembered what fucking boss this is.
Yes, come, Lily. We were making a cum joke. No, it's called sticky white stuff. It's what gives your weapon magic damage.
Fuck off, Reg! No! Don't. Sticky white stuff comes out of my maggot. And imagine if
my maggot.
I'm trying to eat.
I'm trying to eat.
Right, so you know that fella who goes on about how the fire that burns within him burns twice as bright as that, basically him, but with prep.
Yeah, but he's blind.
Oh,
Because why doesn't he just open his eyes? Is he stupid?
you fucking stupid, you asshole!
Yeah, this is an interesting boss actually. I kind of like this one. Oof, okay, you're doing more damage than I was at least. Because for me, fucking hell. I think every hit of mine was doing about 70 damage, where yours are doing about 180. So yeah, it took a while. Yeah, if you don't run around too much, you just kind of like walk whenever he's not directly attacking you. He loses sight of your sense of where you are. Stephen, did you have any input on my time period dilemma? I didn't. I'll read it again. I'll see if Sam has anything. So regarding Lily's 91-year-old grandpa, I was about to say his attitude is unsurprising considering he's from the 40s, but I realized, when do you say someone is from? From when they were in their mid-20s? Because, like, if you time travel, you just say you're from the year you left. Okay. I don't know, when somebody says, like... I don't know, to be honest, the way you said that, your grandpa is from the 40s doesn't actually make any sense, unless he is a time traveler. You would just say he grew up in the 40s. Presumably, if that's when he was like, I don't know, between 20 and 30, or like a teenager, I guess. Your formative years.
How the fuck did he get me from over there? I actually run out of helium.
Like, I'd say less so with me, because I do remember the 90s, but I think like yourself, Lily, or you, Sam. Yeah, more so you. Like, when were you born?
98.
96? 98? Oh, there you go. Like, you would say that you grew up in the 2000s, right? You wouldn't say you grew up in the 90s.
I didn't grow up in the fucking
Even though
90s,
technically you did, or at least a couple of years. I suppose. Stephen is from the time he spent on an oil rig, which were his formative years. They sure were.
There we go. There's
Because
the
when I
old hero,
formed
and
my
I'm
opinion
terrible at it. Fucking hell.
that I hate oil rigs. He didn't die.
He didn't die. He is a fairly tough customer compared to the rest of the bosses in this game.
He is.
Oh, I've got to do Man-Eater. Oh, fuck.
Man-Eater Mildred.
Oh, it. I don't know what gender the Man-Eater is. Is Man-Eater the gargoyle a bloke or a woman?
Reg says he's closing his eyes so his mum can wash all the shampoo out of his hair. You got to have that No More Tears shampoo. Come on.
What? Tears as in like a
Granddad.
birthday cake.
I have.
Granddad's bragging about their Victoria Cross they all got
I have bad news.
just from
Patches has
walking
bad
to school
news.
as a child.
The silent Chief Yurt has infiltrated.
No More Tears,
Volataria.
Johnson & Johnson, a family company.
Yurt's a mercenary. Oh, he'd kill his own kin for
Little
the right
does Stephen
price.
know, he is still
Now,
on the oil
I'm
rig.
not a saint,
No.
but compared to Yurt, whew, I'm as saintly as they come.
I'll keep that in mind, my bald
so
I
friend.
implore you to stay away from Yurt, the assassin in black. Well,
What a nice little bald man. He warns us of evil.
Oh, that's actually nice. I didn't know he did that.
So basically, the moment
Really
we see
sad.
Yurt, we're gonna fuck him up. But
Yeah.
that isn't for a bit. Luckily.
Lily says, I don't remember anything concrete from before I was 4, so I grew up in the 2000s. Yeah. Apparently, Reg said Johnson & Johnson to you once, and you broke down in laughter.
Johnson. Oh fuck yeah! I'm fucking remembering it now. Yeah. Something to do with the fact that the get your COVID jab and your baby powder or something. Like that.
Lily just said, imagine Stephen wakes up Matrix style to find the last few years have been a simulation and he's been held in a vat on the oil rig hooked up to a VR helmet. It's literally going to be like Tony, just waking up. Huh, where's my wife? Oh, that's going to be sad now.
You have.
Hello there, Lonesome George. This is my grandson. Why did I have to find his fucking demo reel?
Oh, of Patches.
Yeah.
Yeah. To Hans, that's the exact same. It's actually really weird that you use those two examples because when I think about the 90s
You think
and my
Jurassic Park
childhood,
2?
Godzilla 1998 and The Lost World Jurassic Park are like two of the only vivid memories I have. So it's very funny that you suggest you bring those two up.
Don't they bring the Sega Saturn up in Jurassic Park 2? I think.
Ian's daughter does complain, like, oh, she doesn't even have Sega, because she's being like told to go stay with some lady. Yeah, I remember going into the old cinema complex in Dundee, which has long since been destroyed.
Destroyed.
And there was the Lost World, like big old 3D poster thing on the wall, and then right next to it was, unless, you know, to be honest, I could be having a Mandela thing, because I remember Titanic as well, but those may not have been the same years, so I may be thinking of two different trips to the cinema.
There it is, everyone.
That was 97.
It's the thing that killed Steve Irwin.
We're going to get revenge. Oh no, it was both 97. There you go. This is for all the Irwins you've destroyed.
All guns on that man.
I want every gun we have to fire on that fish.
Right, just the strategy for this is bolt for it until you get to the other end. And I don't mean that's the whole boss, that's the beginning.
For Steve! Fuck off!
For Steve.
Crikey, that stingray's gone and fucked me! 97 was a great year for cinema and the golden year of the 90s. Apart from 94, because that's when I was born. You pulled the sword from the stone. You are now the King of England.
Right. Drop the spear. There we go. And now the fight is basically over, unless I really fuck it up. Which is likely. It is a stream.
Have you ever died here?
No, I haven't, and I've done this on about 2 different people now.
I'm saying I've done the boss fight once, and I think between us we've cleared this room about 97 times.
Yeah,
Because this is the grinding room. You just come back here after the boss fight and just keep killing the same stingrays again and again. Yeah, never die.
The eternal revenge for our dear lost king.
You know what? People often talk about like childhood heroes and that, and I never felt like I had one, except for Steve Irwin.
You had Nigel.
He was like British Steve Irwin with dinosaurs. Yeah, not quite the
Yeah,
same.
he caught a Pokemon. Get back to the train station. That's the fucking thing we watched. I'm gonna catch this Pokemon.
I don't want to catch you. Other movies from '97: Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin. Which one was that?
That's the one.
Is that the fourth or the third?
That's the Ice Age one.
Oh wow, that one's kind of gash. Men in Black, okay. The Postman, okay. Hercules, nice. Tomorrow Never Dies.
I assume you mean the animated one and not some
No, I didn't watch
other.
that. Yeah, animated. Not the one with the whatever his name is. Event Horizon. And Fifth Hill. Wow, that's a lot of movies that are still like culturally relevant to this day. Like if you actually think like the amount of movies, just movies that get released, and how many of them are just forgotten within like a month of them releasing. Like tons. The absolute vast majority. Yeah, that's a lot of good. That's a lot of good films. You know, I just did this fight in the room. It probably takes longer, a bit less interesting to watch, but pretty much means you can't lose. Crazy year compared to 2022, LMAO.
The character's fucking knackered after doing all that.
Sorry, Dahan says he agrees. 94 was the best year. We both were. The timeline peaked in 94. On the subject of memories, I recall after Steve Irwin's death, there were loads of newspaper articles about how lots of people went out and killed stingrays for revenge, says Lily. It's like that meme. It's like, girls with a time machine. Hey, I'm your granddaughter. Oh wow. Guys with a time machine. Holding a Glock at the stingray and then putting it down and going, no, it's not what he would have wanted.
Right, so we got our revenge now.
Good.
We got our stream catharsis.
Flubber. Apparently, also a 97 movie, I guess. Seriously, were people going out and killing stingrays for revenge? So it's kind of like dawned on me.
I'm glad you
I've
felt
heard
like
it
you
before,
couldn't mentally
but-
move on from that.
It's just, I'm just picturing just a van, just like a dozen or so guys along a big stretch of beach, just in their shorts, just shooting and stabbing.
I imagined a van of people with balaclavas on, and someone thinks they're gonna get fucking robbed, but then they all rush for the fucking ocean and just start shooting into there. Get out of there, you cunt! I'll fucking kill you, you fucking stingray! They'll be using fishing rods and hammers.
You know when you look at like country populations, and it's like, you know, here's the population of Russia over the last 100 years. You see like the big dip during World War II and the Afghan invasion and that. I wonder if there's like one for stingray population, and you just see what year did Irwin die?
2006?
2006. You just see like this big dip of like 5-10%.
A man fucking jumps in bare arms, flexes them, and just punches hundreds of stingrays.
I remember having two heroes as a kid, says Datura, Steve Irwin and Jeff Corwin. I was devastated when my mom told me that Steve died. I follow the Irwin kids on Twitter sometimes. Sometimes, I mean all the time, but
You just decide to unfollow them occasionally to get them.
yeah, sometimes I just unfollow them.
So they sit...
Miss Steve Irwin dangling chicken over a crocodile. Don't worry, darling, not gonna hurt you. And he pats its belly. Okay, when you say Miss, I was thinking like, what, his wife? Miss Steve Irwin? You just don't remember her name? Yeah, okay. Honestly, for my life, any year before 2016 was a good year. World's gone downhill since that gorilla. Ah. Harambe.
It's gone downhill since that gorilla.
Australians have a history of going on punitive expeditions against their own fauna, don't they? Yeah, and losing.
Fine.
Look up the Emu Wars on Wikipedia.
Fine.
It's gonna make patches so fun.
Anyway.
Fine.
Sorry, speaking of like good years and that, I saw this brought up the other day, a bit of a change of subject. Do you think 2023 this year has been like one of the best ones we've had in a while for game releases?
I thought you meant in general. It's like, no, Stephen, I've been absolutely fucking miserable this year. But for game releases,
fine. For games.
Yeah, for games, I think it's been brilliant. I think, you know, again, I was actually talking to Hands about how Baldur's Gate 3 made me feel, and how it feels like a game that, like, it's either from a different timeline or was released years ago but magically ended up in 2023. Because it kind of reaffirms my thing of like I'm not just some old fuck who's out of touch with games, who's like, oh, games used to be better when, you know, when I was younger or whatever. Because then this game comes out and it feels like it's made like how games were sort of used to get made or were around like the sort of PS2
So
era.
it's kind of proven that it's not just nostalgia goggles. It is actually that games just aren't very good a lot of the time.
Yeah, thank you.
And then you actually, it's like
You've put it better than I
it's like
did.
when you finally taste some good fucking cooking.
Finally, some
Finally,
good
some
fucking
good fucking
food.
food. Yeah, it's like you remember. Oh yeah, everything doesn't have to be microwave meals.
Thou seekest then
Doesn't have to be. Fine, fine, fine.
soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the
I like to think Harambe
Lord,
done the
so
Clark
blessed.
Kent dad hand gesture before he got
Strength
shot.
to grant, so the world might be
What, from Man of
How
Steel?
What,
thou
when he just
may-
sort of looks a bit...
Don't
Don't.
do it. He's not worth it.
I wish he just gibbed his dad like some fucking serious Sam character. It just made him fucking blah everywhere. Not like...
Huh?
Fucking hell, it's so funny words.
Sorry, Stephen does his word magic again, which two Stooges failed to frame into a sentence on Discord call for 20 minutes.
Basically,
You want to try that one again?
yeah, when the hands has proven
Transmission?
our point. Basically, we were trying to describe how Baldur's Gate 3 made us feel, and you've summed it up in a few words when we were failing to find any way to
Oh,
put
okay.
it. Yeah.
Right. I thought you were having to go against me for stumbling
No,
on my words a minute
I was
ago.
gonna say no. Yeah, look, we're not very good with words. You don't have to be good with words and be a streamer. Look at how many people have been successful with that. Insert list of every streamer to exist.
I'm not going to list of quotations from Chairman Stephanie Sterling, but a lot of games are essentially just the same thing with different microtransactions. Surprise mechanics! Yeah.
Thank goodness you are safe. I was worried sick about you.
And by the way, I didn't jump on that bandwagon about like, oh, all other game developers are panicking now because Baldur's Gate 3 is so good, they're all afraid, and then I didn't quite jump on that because I don't expect every game to be like Baldur's Gate 3. I think the fact that Larian themselves have come out and said like, yeah, we're not doing that again, it's kind of proven the point. But yeah, just generally gaming has been kind of shit, and they got to buck up, don't they? A
I
little
think
bit.
gaming needed a bit of a general
Buck up, son.
kick up the arse.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't need to always be a BG3, but it needs to be better than, pretty much everything else we've had.
Reg, is it the Dracula organ music that's playing at the moment then, and not the peaceful Nexus music?
Oh, I've got it muted, so 1 second. Ah. Yeah, apparently this just happens after you've beaten a certain amount of demons in the game.
So it's not to do with my me being evil or anything.
No, it's not. I was worried it was like that as well. But no, apparently it just happens after a certain point.
I don't know what's up with my eyes. They're very cloudy. I think it's like I've got my second eyelid closed.
I don't think people were afraid of BG3. Most developers were probably just jealous of Larian's ability to develop the game that way due to independence and ample funding through EA. Maybe, yeah. Like, I don't like this pitting of game developers against each other. Like, they're all enemies and, jealous of each other, that sort of thing. I think for the most part, they probably all get on quite well. I think a lot of the people are went to the same colleges and they all kind of know each other. Yeah, it just seems to be like an internet drama thing of like...
It absolutely is. Like, that, what's her name? Alana Pierce?
He rings a bell,
yeah, I think like she basically said as much recently when people were asking her to be fired for speaking nicely about Starfield because she like works for Sony, and it's like, no, that's total bullshit. We all want each other to succeed. Yeah.
But yeah, I can understand like developers being frustrated for the companies that they are maybe working for, the publishers they're working for, being very restrictive on the kind of products they can make. Whereas Larian's obviously had a lot more risk in what they did, to be fair, but a lot more freedom. Like Baldur's Gate 3 could have been a disaster, couldn't it? This big years-long crowd-funded project, and then it could have ended up like is it Star Citizen? No, what's the game that's like been in development hell for like 1,000 years? The space one.
Star Citizen, yeah, it is.
Is it Star Citizen?
Yeah. The thing is, it's been in development hell for so long that the problem is, even when they do finish it, I get the feeling not many people are going to play it because people go, "Oh, what the fuck's that? Who cares?" It's been so long.
Or they're going to be a little bit like me and be like, "Hasn't that game been released already for years? I don't even remember anymore."
It's the danger of providing early access to a game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's eat some grass.
Lily says, "I'm hoping pronouns make a return to games in the future."
Pronouns!
Yeah. It's a shame they only just got invented.
It's a shame they only put them in just to spite the one bald fucking ape of a man.
Ape of a man.
Oh, good day to you. I can forge weapons for
Lily, can I just say this? There were pronouns in Fallout 2, a 1998 game. Sam told me this. Well, yeah, sure, there were pronouns in the text somewhere. I don't think you got to choose them at character creation, but
Like,
they sure did exist. It comes with language, funnily enough.
I mean, it's also the first game that you could have features gay marriage in it, apparently. So that's the.
Yeah, that was a surprise to hear. It's funny. It's funny. First game with gay marriage, and it's a shotgun wedding. Or possibly the first game. I don't know if there is something more obscure. An early example.
It's listed on Wiki as the first one, so I'm inclined to believe it. I'm not one of these people who's like, "Oh, don't believe anything you see on Wiki." I believe quite a bit of what I see, because usually Wiki is held to quite a standard, but, you know, never mind, eh? It's not Wiki's fault that people occasionally edit it to say, like, John Cena, also known as Cock McWillie or something like that.
Are you going to go, like, do another area now?
Yeah, I'm going to go
or
do
are we just
another
going to keep
area.
talking while you're
I'm
laughing?
I am doing the glitch.
Just asking on behalf of the chat, who I believe are probably being too polite. Lily says, I think there's a reference to like developers all being friends, really. It's like in wrestling. 99% of wrestlers in WWE and AEW are friends across the border.
Thank I was
Star Citizen, I think the main difference is that Sven Vinke has made a lot of games before. He knew he was getting himself into, despite being ambitious. BG3 was still a realistic... Oh, sorry, is this Sven the Larian?
Lost the ambition.
Like dev or something. Because I was going to say, like, a big part of it is the fact that Larian have built games before of this, you know, obviously Divinity series. So they've proven themselves, and they have a lot of experience. And it's not just, like, one guy in his shed. Like, I'm going to make a game where you can do anything. Give me money. Give me money, give me money, give me money, give me money.
Oh my god, the next area I've got to do is level 3, and I've never actually beaten level 3.
Well, you've seen me do it, so you know what to expect. Gorilla-shaped man. I never liked that Heels guy, mainly because he has been regurgitating the same shit about World of Warcraft imminently being shut down for 15 years now. Heels guy?
That's the name of the fat pronouns man who looks like he reeks
Oh
of
my
cigarettes.
god. Wow, alright. Like, I'm sure I've seen him before under some context, because I definitely know the name, and I know the face, and I know his baby face name, but, I can't remember what it was, and I didn't like him then either. He just seemed like a chud.
Does he always look like that?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh.
Just your regular run-of-the-mill doom grifter. Mm-hmm. Plenty of them on YouTube. You're gonna go kill the
The mind flare.
mind flare. Go on, get him. Get him. Get him.
I can't believe you said Shaq was being too. I was having a but we were talking about video games. I know I need to play the game, but I was communicating with them.
That's not fair, Lily. That bald baby bloke doesn't represent all of us John White blokes.
Do you feel like you're being stereotyped?
That's what Reg says.
What?
All of those hollow Johns.
Okay.
I had to explain to my dad. I didn't have to. I just chose to explain to my dad the other day what a hollow John was.
I swear I already
He was laughing
mentioned
about it.
Hello Johns when I last saw it.
I don't remember. Maybe, who knows? You got better memory than me for some like random shit like that. There is a lot of inaccurate bullshit on Wikipedia, but it is generally correct about the stuff. Just be careful when an article goes into a suspicious amount of detail about questionable topics. Yeah. Like, I feel like you never got a question in Wikipedia when it's like, yeah, what is the atomic number of nitrogen? And it just tells you, and it's like, ah, well, I'm going to look for the source on this, Wikipedia. But yeah, if it starts going into, like, controversies of this, you know, divisive figure.
I'm gonna go ask the atomic structure of the planet. Meow.
I never liked that, like, in high school. Or if you're having to do any kind of writing project, and it's like, you must not use Wikipedia as a source. Okay, no, I get that. Like, use Wikipedia, but, like, go to the sources page on the bottom and use that. Yes. But then some teachers are really arsey about it, and they're like, no, we're blocking Wikipedia. You're not even allowed to access the website.
And it's like, yeah, it's like all those sources are perfectly valid. They're sources for a fucking reason.
It's like, Wikipedia, it can't be used because anybody can edit it. Unlike other websites, which are created by God. And have no bias. Fine, I shan't read the Wikipedia article on the 2014 Ukraine invasion. I will go to an unbiased source. Hello, RT.
Source, it came to me in a dream.
Having to explain internet things to parents is the worst, says Lily. It depends on the parents. I guess it depends how web savvy they
Oh,
are.
for God's sake, I've got to deal with this cunt for the next bloody 2 hours now.
No Wikipedia, so instead I had to use a site from the 90s, and it's written in Comic Sans. Reliable sources.
I've got to hear this bloke screaming in the bloody prison now for the next, like, 30 minutes.
Oh, shit. Yeah, sorry, guys, can you hear the screaming voice? Because I've got it muted.
You're
But I just remembered it.
He'll do it again soon. I know he will. He's not going to do it now, is he? He's gotten shy. There is a
Honestly, it's not even worth rescuing him.
It's.
Unless you really want to. It was not worth
Did
it.
you say the loot wasn't really worth it?
There was loot. You got, like, a soul, which I guess, you know, contributes to a bit of a level up. But, like...
Yeah, you've
there
not
was
really
no real
sold it to me,
story.
so that says it
There was
all.
no real plot to it. And it's so much faff. Running around trying to find the keys to gradually unlock more of the prison. Oh. There goes a small penis car driver outside. Apologies.
What, you went,
My mum described an Amazon Fire Stick as needing 5 degrees to use. Oh, I love that. And by love, I mean hate. when it's like, "Can you help me get the DVD player to work?" And then you just like, you know, press the on switch, and it's like, "Oh, you're so good with computers. I can never figure this out." I miss my gran.
Oh, fucking hell. It's my least favourite bit of this whole level. It's taking people out of the bloody Iron Maiden things. What happens if I step inside it? Will it actually close?
Dunno. That'd be funny if it did. It's auto-closed. And you don't even die. You just
Suffer.
get stuck in there forever.
Suffer as I am.
Fuck off, Ramatra.
It's actually, I was just saying words. Didn't realise that was a Ramatra thing now.
Source, I made Ukraine up. Just another fictional Cyrillic barren wasteland of tower bollocks. Tower blocks. What?
Tower
Barren
bollocks.
wasteland of tower blocks. Okay, I see. Oh, right, I was confused. Barren. B-A-R-R-E-N. What you meant. I was reading it as, like, the Cyrillian Baron. Cyrillic Baron.
What, like he's like a landowner?
His tower blocks. I want all the tower blocks. I want them all under my house.
Commander roll lightly ajar.
Proposal that we stop calling them Russian oligarchs and start calling them Cyrillic barons. There we go.
I quite like them. It's better than... I've never liked the term oligarch, to be honest.
Oligarch. Chernobyl? Whimsical gaslighting on my part. Rich. Fun fact, Iron Maidens were not used in history. Oh.
So basically some sick fucking pervert invented the Iron Maiden because he wanted to know what it would be like to be, I don't know, squelched in a big enclosed space. Ugh.
Did you know Iron Maiden was not around during the Middle Ages? I'll show myself out. Oh, fuck. I think we touched too close on the history now.
Oh,
Because here
for
comes the
God's
hands
sake.
telling us about Julius Caesar. Oligarchy from ancient Greek. Oligarchia, rule by few. Oligos, few. Archos, to rule. Such as monarchy, rule of one, and triarchy, rule of three, and other numberarchies.
Isn't the rule of two the Sith one?
Democracy sort of runs into this as well. Demos meaning public? What does demos mean again?
And the oligarch.
Ah, the people. Yeah, I was close enough. I said the public.
We give
Demos meaning
back
the
to you,
people,
the people.
and kratia meaning power.
Crap you.
And Scotarchy, rule of literally no one. Oh.
King of napping.
Ow. Because the Scots have no king, get it? Har 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 haggis.
Haggis.
Actually, the first king of the United
Haggis.
Scot and English kingdoms was a Scottish king. He was James VI of Scotland and then James I of England. But then the House of Westminster happened. Or whatever. I don't know. I don't know anything about the monarchs, to be honest. I just don't care.
It's the kind of thing that Americans will know about every bollock care of every royal, and you'll be like, oh, okay, that's nice. Who's that?
That's nice. It's why I'd be really bad at the chase, because there's always a bunch of questions about monarchs, isn't there?
What was Homer's
I'd
favourite?
much rather just... I don't want to answer questions. I just want to chase the fucking fat guy around. with a towel. That's how you win the chase. They've got it written in the rules, just they don't make it public. Nobody knows, and that's how you really beat them. You just got to chase them around the studio.
The fucking Homer's Odyssey thing over the. I think he likes donuts.
I know the Horrible Histories song, so I'm sorted. Yeah. I know the song. I know the song you're referring to. I do not know the song word for word.
Well, I know he likes donuts. And have all the donuts in the world. Oddworld Homer's Exodus. Turok would be happy.
I just want Turok 3 to hurry up and release.
So you can stream it. So you can play it.
Yeah.
I reckon that game's going to be fantastic with actual modern controls.
Oh yeah, I mean the fact that I enjoyed it so much and the absolute gash, basically unplayable control scheme I had on the emulator, like it had everything against it.
You know it's bad when the
yet
numpad
somehow
is coming
I
into play.
Yeah. Trying to aim a first-person shooter using the numpad.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
The auto aim in the game was a little bit wonk as well, so hopefully not having to rely on that. I was dreading doing this fucking level on stream.
Yeah, because I knew it was going to be a drag. It's just...
But I really am, you probably won't believe it, I really am trying to not get lost and just get through this as quickly as possible. But there are so many fucking doors. And if you die once, it makes it a fucking pain in the arse to get anywhere.
I think you're trying to go down. You really want to be heading to the lower level of the prison. Via the stairwells. You haven't found the singing lady yet, have you?
No, I haven't found Maggie yet.
Right. Oh, okay, yeah. You want to go right back to the start of the prison. And then you should now be able to go to the... Yeah, you've already been to the stairwell. I think the problem is you just keep falling down that hole. Which I don't think you're supposed to be doing. Anyway, I would try and give you directions, but I'm also like 10 or 15 seconds behind the stream, so it would just add to confusion.
I don't know why, I've got it set to low latency mode.
It's just how it is. So anyone kept up with the American legal theater and know if Trump got convicted of it? It's going to be very, very slow to hand. He is still in the process, but the system moves slow. Like it might not be until. I think I heard today it's going to be 2024 before Navarro, one of the people involved, co-conspirators, is having his case, his actual day in court. So that's like, not for a year almost. And I imagine it's going to be even longer for the higher profile people, like Trump himself. So yeah, it's one of those things that will be used to their advantage. They're going to be like, haha, I see, once again, it was all nothing. But no, it's just because the system moves slow. Pretty sure Navarro was just a planet from the Mandalorian. It's also where the Enclave have their main vertebrate base in New California.
I was going to say, for me, Navarro is Enclave. It's not. It's
The
not
evidence
Star Wars.
seems rather overwhelming. It is, yeah. But that doesn't make the the wheels of justice move any faster, unfortunately. This is kind of one of the downsides, I guess, of living in a, you know, an extensive democracy. We can't just we can't just put people on trial like the day after they're arrested for crimes against the Republic, even if they are completely valid. It's going to be a very, very slow process.
Finally, some fucking
I
stairs.
only watched that YouTube lawyer video, and he suggested Eagle by any chance? And he suggested Trump is looking at like 11 years in prison, give or take 20 more. Democracy fails again. Checkmate, democratalists.
You're a democratalist.
I am a bit of a democratalist. I like democracy. I like the Republic.
Oh, it's Sage Freaky. Wreck.
He's getting freaky.
Oh, human are you? I am Frick.
You should look for Sage
been
Freck.
trapped
He's
here
my
for
master.
ages.
He will teach you how to do
Perhaps you could
spells.
help me
Star
get out of
Wars.
here. I am a sage.
Star Wars.
I can lend you my power in return. Oh, take heed of those octopus-headed guards.
Fucking game show, Matty. I wish I had a
I,
voice
for
that-
one, am a staunch supporter of whatever system functions least and helps me avoid paying
Take
taxes.
heed of those octopus-headed guards.
Well, do I have the country for you, Somalia? Basically, what's it? Anarcho state. Not to be confused with an narco state, but yes. That sounds very libertarian. To Hans, what are your thoughts on the age of consent, out of curiosity? A joke, a jape, a jest, I'm sure. The legal system is wild. A man could murder 27 people in front of a camera, broadcasting live, go on Facebook and say, I did it, and they'd still have to go through a 12-month process to determine guilt. Well, it also depends on whether or not you have the money for, like, a bajillion lawyers who can just stall the process as much as goddamn possible. Just obstruction at every fucking level. But yeah, if you're just some random guy, nah, you're in the slammer. Like, immediately.
The fucking slammer. Hey, pal.
Hey, pal. I just think it's wrong that people with money can stall justice. I would have just left that at, I just think it's wrong that people with money. I joke, I jape, I jest.
Money.
Having money's fine as long as you subscribe to my Patreon.
Oh, it's you. It's the bloke who's been fucking moaning all the time I've been here.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Oh, yeah, here he is.
Insane one, aren't you? My name is Ridiel.
Mate, your haircut is awful, but
liberate
the
me
ghost
from this
outline's
cell.
doing you no favours.
I have precious little time. I must retrieve an article from
You
my
fucking
corpse.
Papa Roach, Jimmy Neutron looking cunt.
As you can see, the only thing that remains of me is my soul. My body is trapped in another cell. I fancy it a fine, rotten mess by now. I've no interest in my corporeal flesh, but I left upon my person a keepsake of my late wife. I will soon fade into the beyond. My only wish is to do so near
After
that
the age of
token
discovery,
of my
age of
beloved.
colonialism, and age of misery, finally we get to the age of consent, where people ask nicely before shivving you in the kidney.
Felt like you had to read that one. So.
Please, help me.
I literally just spoke to you. Stop asking for me to fucking help you.
Help!
Never
I've
heard
fallen
someone more
over and can't
impatient.
get up.
I can understand saying it if, like, there wasn't someone who was actively sane in the area, and he was...
I think he just doesn't really have much faith that you're going to get the job done. So he's going to hedge his bets, and he's just going to keep calling out to see if anybody else is passing by the area.
It's because he looks like a condom. That's what he's judging him on. I'm sorry, who was that? Who are you?
It's like, help! Can somebody free me from this prison? Hello there, I can. Can anybody else free me from this prison? Has Nick Nolte ever played a character that wasn't a cop or a pisshead dad? Or a nugnut?
Is
Unless
there
you're counting him as a pisshead dad.
Oh.
Shit, it's the Mad Mincer. Is that what this guy's called? He is a very Elden Ring character. I said this at the time as well.
I'll just call him the meatball.
The meatball lad. Meatball Ron.
it's Ron DeSantis! No!
I count Ugnaught as a pisshead dad. I have spoken. You know what? I accept it. This enemy looks like a Gmod ragdoll abomination. When you just easy weld a whole bunch of Half-Life 2 characters together.
Would you believe it if I told you the last time I went through this area, I died to him about 7 times in a row? It was embarrassing. How embarrassing.
How embarrassing.
How embarrassing.
So, if you just wanted to speedrun this, I think you want to go in the direction that Meatball Ron was. The gate is open already?
Why is it already open?
Ooh. Because I think it is, but I think the problem is that this is not actually the way you want to necessarily.
No, you want to get the
go.
key from here, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Key.
And then you want to go back and and then you need to go back upstairs to the warden hallway.
Yeah.
Because I remember having trouble here because I found a key and I'm like, I have no fucking idea what the key's for because there's too many fucking doors in this place. But yeah, I remember it's like back to the stairwell and then you go to where there's a few more.
I hate how fucking funny I found Meatball Run.
I'm sticking with that now. Every time I see that enemy.
In any game. Because it is in more
any
than one
future game.
The Meatball Run.
So yeah, running across that bridge is a bad idea.
You will die. There is... That's about 4 arrows going into you. Meatball Run, Meatball Run.
I was listening. I was watching a YouTube video about
Meatball
how
Run.
the difficulty of this game is like bad and unfair and stuff, which I don't necessarily fully disagree with because there is a lot of bullshit in this game. But the footage the guy was using was him repeatedly trying to run through that archer bridge there, and being like, "Oh look, I keep dying. Oh, you can't shield through it. You can't roll through it. Oh, it's so unfair." Now, at the time, having not played this level yet, I'm like, oh yeah, that is kind of ridiculous. But, having played it, you pick up a fucking key, put 2 and 2 together, you're not supposed to go that way.
It's a bit fucking silly, isn't it? It's like...
Yeah.
It's like, no, fella, you're very obviously not meant... They gave you a cutscene. Does that not tell you enough? Oh... No, it's not down there. It's some other Meatball Run, Meatball Way.
Mm-hmm. It appears to be locked.
Meatball Run, Meatball Run, Meatball Run. It's Godfrey the Grafted for his glow up.
I saw that. Seven? That's one more than 6. Oh, was this the 7 times you died to Ron?
I think the only other meatball run that I can think of is in Elden Ring when you go to the to Caelid and there's like that magic tower. If you go inside it by jumping on it through torrent, there's a meatball run down there. But I'm sure there's other
Really?
meatball runs. I'm not thinking. Yeah, there's a meatball run.
Don't remember.
That is not the Dreg shouting at me. It's that bloke in that cell again. He's throwing that much of a fucking tantrum because I haven't spoke to him in about 4 minutes.
He's like your cat when you don't give it attention. Lily says, to be fair, I'm also like that. Can't carry anymore.
Shut
Sleep
up!
apnea noise.
Don't sleep at me.
If you stop giving me attention, I start biting furniture.
I feel really sorry for... Stop fucking shouting, you miserable cunt! For anyone who just like walks past me whenever I'm playing this level, because every time he does it, I say, "Shut up!"
Because I've got the game muted, but I know exactly the noise, so I'm still pissing myself laughing. Because it was driving me batty for so long.
Why have you stuck these fucking Ouijas in like these pots?
The Ouija's in the box. Imagine that's your prison sentence. It's like you can be put in a prison cell, you can be put in an Iron Maiden. You there, get in the vase. We've ran out of flowers, get in the vase. We've got to brighten this place up.
You look beautiful.
We've got to plant you.
You're gonna fucking plant you, pal.
Man, now I want a meatball with cheese. Says Dan.
So all this talk of meatball rum got you hungry. Fucking meatball. Right, I need to go retrieve the best weapon in the game. Here we go. Oh no, I can't even pick it up because I'm so fucking weak. I'm so fucking weak. I can't even pick up the S-stock. Ugh. Pathetic. These cheesy delights will have cheesy ends. Oh, for fuck's sake, you meatball-wedded cunt.
Oh, I just saw what happened. Okay.
Meatball Ron, meatball... Meat. Meatball... Meatball Ron. You can't do the scream right after saying, "Please help me." Meatball Ron, meatball Ron. Fucking Ouija. Fucking Ouija. Just weedies and mind players.
It just kind of dawned on me that all the enemies in this godforsaken place have respawned now.
Oh no. I've got to be the one buying the fucking thing.
Let's at least get boss on this place here. It's a good boss.
Yeah, I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon. I will get to the boss. 'Cause... Yeah, I imagine the only thing to break will be your patience. So.
I'm okay. I'm here for the long haul.
Meatball Ron.
I just wish there was a way that I could direct you, but I really can't. Like,
I have got
it's
to
just,
the boss on my own.
You just gotta.
I have got there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta remember. We're just gonna keep a mental track of which corridors you've been down. Like I say, I know the hallway that you're looking for. I just don't remember how you get there. You know, it's kind of a, I'll know it when I see it kind of thing.
Can we see it?
Can we see it? Stephen Oilrig, honest opinion on Star Wars: The Ahsoka Show. My honest opinion is that I'm really impressed by it so far. But that I always have this kind of worry of like, yeah, but I also liked Kenobi to start with. And I liked Boba Fett, I guess. I don't know. Even then, I feel like this show has had a better, I don't know, a better vibe to it than those shows. And this last episode, without any spoilers, because as far as I'm aware, Lily hasn't seen it yet, was legitimately really, really good.
Oh, really good. It's actually excellent. I did say this to, if it was it the hands asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did say this to you on call. It is really good. Like the only slightly naff episode is free, I would say. But
yes,
yeah.
My problem with 3 though really is just because you waited a week for it. Nothing fucking happened because it was just it had like 2 scenes. It had one scene of Hera talking to people on a ship, and then the other scene was just a big old dogfight, and then that was the entire episode. Wait for another week to get more story, and it was like, fucking hell. Watching the episodes back to back, it's perfectly fine, but I think it was just the wait made that episode really have a sour taste. No, I'm really enjoying it, but that's also because I am a watcher of pretty much all Star Wars, and I know what's going on. I don't think it's a show that I could recommend people who are just like casual fans, which is always kind of in the back of the mind as well. But at the same time, I'm okay with that. You know, I feel like the casual fans got their casual shit. They got Force Awakens. Fuck them. It's like I am a fan. I am perfectly happy to be serviced so long as the service is good. Boba Fett was good when it was about him, but then it became post Mando 2 filler. I mean, Boba Fett show had a lot of problems, but that is certainly one of them. Steven liked Boba Flop and Snornobi, opinions discarded. I said I liked them to start with. As in, like, the first episode or 2 was like, okay, I mean, I'm okay with this. And then, like, as it went on, I liked it less.
And then you went, okay,
to make it clear, that's what I meant. No, I think the first episode of Kenobi, barring a few things, I liked all right. The second episode of Kenobi I thought was pretty good. I liked the city setting there. But then that was kind of the last time that the Kenobi show had an interesting environment. Because from that point on, it was shitey
Deserts
sets and
destroyed planets.
no lighting. Yeah. Too late, Stephen. You're forever marked as a casual. I'm not sure if that marks me as a casual. If anything, that marks me as like a
fanatic,
a Disney shill who like will eat up anything I'm given. The casual would be the opposite. Anyway. Now, I was never really that into the Boba Fett show either. Yeah. I don't know. The Boba Fett show was weird because I was never really that into Boba Fett as a character. So like a lot of people had these really high expectations of wanting to see him go on some like really gritty bounty hunting adventure, which I didn't really care about to start with. So I was just happy to go in and be like, all right, I'll see what they're doing here. I've got like no expectations. And the initial like exploring Tusken Raiders culture stuff was interesting to me. And then it just kind of like completely trailed off by the end.
Fell off
plus L plus ratio. I knew nothing of value could come out of the Boba Fett show. Yeah, you're probably right.
You're right.
Boba Fett was like junk food for Star Wars fans. And unfortunately, I think the Kenobi show felt exactly the same. Which I think I feel more negatively towards Kenobi that I think a lot of fans did for Boba Fett, because I hold Ewan McGregor's Kenobi in much higher regard. You know, a lot of people are like super Boba Fett fans, and I think felt very betrayed by that show for not living up to their expectations. That's how I feel about Kenobi. You know,
It's weird how
it
much
should have
more
been much more
negative
cinematic.
you've got on Kenobi as time's gone on. I was not
Yeah.
expecting it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, totally true. I think a part of it was that I wasn't hating the show for the reason a lot of people were, because a lot of people were just hating it because they did not like the Black Lady. Let's be real. But my criticisms at the time were still a lot the same. I thought the lighting was shite. I did not like the look of the lightsabers. I did not care for the big Darth Vader Obi-Wan duel. Like it's the rematch of the century, and it's like, didn't really want it to start with, and it does not live up to the Mustafar fight. So what's the point? I mean, there's stuff I liked about it though. I really liked the Leia kid actress. I thought her and Ewan generally were just like the best scenes in that show were probably just them talking, like the two of them in the back of that truck, with like Obi-Wan trying not to, you know, give away too much, but just be like, I knew your parents. They were all right. You know? Yeah, I mean, I've said this to you, Sam. The Kenobi show felt like it was a stage play. You know, the way the sets were, the way that there's never any more than like 20 people, because that's the maximum they could fit on the volume.
Yeah.
And the lighting was gash. Kenobi was highly anticipated, but as soon as the first trailer dropped, we knew where it was heading. I don't know. I don't really remember the trailer all that well.
You look like the kind of person to remember the Kenobi trailer.
I don't know what you mean by that.
I don't know what I mean by that. I'm going to be totally off.
No, but like back to Ahsoka, I feel very much different about Ahsoka. It's got a much better. Jesus Christ, small dicked driver outside again. Oh, there's the hallway. Yeah. Sorry, delayed anyway. You found it.
Yeah. Oh, that was the fucking sigh of relief. Oh.
Yeah, I friggin' love Balin and Shin, the two new kind of antagonists in the Ahsoka show. Their opening scene in the very first episode had this, like I say, really good cinematic quality, but also just fucking solid introduction to these characters. Yeah. Oh, and the choreography and just the duels when they have been having them have been so much better than anything else they've done in the live action, or arguably the sequel movies either. I think.
I can't believe how good
Probably quite handily,
some
honestly.
of the actual lightsaber, like, not amazing, but just good, and like you actually care about it. Like, I don't know. I think half of like a lightsaber duel like, is you wanting to care about like the effects of it, what happens.
I mean, there's a problem with the Obi-Wan Vader rematch. It's like, where's the tension? We know that neither of these characters could die. We know that nothing particularly revealing could be revealed. You know, it's not like Vader's going to find out that the little girl that Obi-Wan's been traveling with is Leia, who's his daughter or something. We know Vader doesn't know this, so there's like, it's just fansturbation. But not even particularly good, because
is it to the point where you can't accept that it exists within the canon, or are you not quite at that point with it?
I don't know. I've not really thought about it that hard, to be perfectly honest. Meh. I'm not like scrubbed it from my mind the same way I have like the sequel movies. But yeah. It just, I don't know, it just didn't really leave any much of an impact at all. The only real like thing I got from the Kenobi show was just seeing Ewan McGregor again in that role and being like, nice. This makes me happy. Maybe that's why I like the first episode.
I mean, how you
Just
feel
seeing a
about
man be depressed.
how you feel about this though? Again, like I've said, is how I felt about Mando season 3. For the most part, I just fucking hated it, and I did not. Bear in mind, I absolutely love Mando season 1 and 2. I just really, really dislike season 3. Apart from, funnily enough, the episode of it that everyone else like hated. The
There was two, but I
the
think you mean the Jack
the
Black
Jack
one.
Black one. Yeah, I
Okay.
actually did just enjoy that. I don't know, those characters
Sorry.
I could believe them being like in what, the Clone Wars or something. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I'm just realizing we've kind of not been reading chat for a bit, so I'm going to catch up on some of their opinions here.
That's fine.
Reg says, I wanted Boba Fett to be alive post episode 6, regardless of how the show was. It done that fan service for me, to which I am happy. Yeah, I mean, again, like, I'm not offended by the Boba Fett show because I didn't really care that much about the Boba Fett character. I just like Tamura Morrison, and I like seeing him on screen. Like, it's fine. I'm happy. I'm happy that he's alive. It's cool. It's just that the show was pretty disposable. Boba Fett was like junk food. Yeah, just cool Rancor scenes and space shooties. Space shooties.
It is a
yeah.
very junk food series. So I guess that's why I don't dislike it that much, because I can look at it and kind of imagine it as if it was some sort of like animated thing as well. Well, I don't know. Plus, the Tuscan themed episodes of that were actually just kind of good, in my opinion.
I think that the strongest the Boba Fett show got was with the Tuscans. There was 2 or 3 episodes there. And there is this massive elephant in the room with that show, that the best episode was the best and the worst episode at the same time was the Mandalorian one.
Oh, the one that's
Because
just
it
Mando.
was a really fucking good Mando episode, but it also had no bloody business being there, and it ruined season 3 of Mandalorian. But in isolation, it was a solid episode. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so this horrible fucking thing that shoots at you. Now you're behind it. Just yank on it. Just yank on it really
Yeah,
hard.
it's chain.
Pull its chain. Cool, get back in. Shrink.
Nothing of value ever came out of bringing back Boba Fett in the original EU either. To be honest, I never really paid much attention to those stories.
No, the original EU.
I know
seems
he
like
came
garbage
back
lot
in a
of the time.
similar way. I didn't mean the whole EU. I just meant specifically any Boba Fett stories.
Oh, I just decided to go for the more venomous approach, to be honest.
The whole EU, you hate all of it. We were just talking about this earlier.
Well,
we
no,
were asking
I
why
like the
like
Dash
Thrawn.
Rendars and the Kyle Katans of the world, but you know, that's again, funnily enough, all the EU I like is the EU I grew up with, I guess. So basically,
Makes
just
sense.
the Jedi basically the whole Jedi Knight series, basically, is all I, and Shadows of the Empire. It's all I really give a shit about.
It's funny how the shows everyone was hyped for were kind of shit, Boba Fett, Kenobi, and the shows everyone was super skeptical on, Andor, Ahsoka, turned out good. I'm not sure how skeptical people were for Ahsoka, other than the fact that Disney had dropped the ball so many times. I think people were a bit wary. I think just the announcement of the show alone, people were just about as excited for that as, you know, the Boba and Kenobi one. But yeah, the Andor one's absolutely true. Like, there was no hype for that. Including for me, until I started, I think, when I heard, like, it was going to have the same writers as Rogue One, that was like, okay. And then when I saw that first trailer, it was like, all right, I'm sold. I kind of knew from the first trailer that it was going to be, I know I had pretty high hopes.
Oh, what, the blade that pierced his body came from his trailer.
Apparently, DeHans went into detail with Sam why I am apprehensive about getting into Ahsoka, mainly because seeing Ray Stevenson on screen is going to make me super sad. It is sad, but the real thing that's sad about it is that everybody is praising the crap out of him.
He's so
Everyone
good.
is so,
He's so
happy
good.
with how he is, and the sad thing is that he isn't here to enjoy the really positive reception he's had.
Fucking awful it is, the whole thing.
like I say, his character is my favorite thing about the show so far.
Yeah, like he is really good.
Lily says, I loved the bit of Kenobi where Kenobi got set on fire, Obi, and then it didn't matter.
Didn't matter, Obi.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get why people get salty over not understanding the context of a show and get annoyed having to watch a previous show to get it. You don't start with Deathly Hallows and moan. Yes and no. I feel like it gets to a point where needing to read 7 novels and watch 2 animated series and half a movie and all the stuff to understand a TV show can get frustrating for general audiences. But as a not general audience member who has read and watched all that stuff, I'm happy.
Who's general audience member? What's the?
He's related to General Hux
Oh.
and is just as much of a cunt.
Fucking hell! What did the frame rate do there? Don't ever do humanity. Don't ever humanity yourself was zoomed into your head.
Oh wow, I just saw it.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell! That poor PS3 must be going. Wah! It's fucking revving up.
No, it's a tricky tightrope to walk with the Ahsoka show being the prime example of like how much of Clone Wars or
What do you
Rebels are you expected to watch to understand this.
I do not wish to interfere.
It's a hard one to
I
know.
won't cause you trouble.
Like
I won't.
He will.
Dan, Hans, have you watched Clone Wars or Rebels? Genuine question, because I know that Lily has, I know that Reg has, I know that Sam has, I have. Because it really is just like a live-action 5th season of Rebels in a lot of ways.
The hands. Whilst I understand you're slightly memeing with that, that is actually a general point that I do dislike about a lot of current Star Wars. It is that like the actual like alien races are a little bit too. What's the word? People in makeup. They're and not as in like. You know what I mean? Where it's very obviously just a person and they've been like painted up a bit. I'm wanting a few more on-screen characters that are just a Rhodian. But that would be nice. Just a fish man. Just that Beskar Zars Mando.
Yeah, Mando's pretty good for it.
Mando is
I
pretty
feel
good.
like all the other shows have been a bit weaker. This is a question about Mando actually, that I kind of want to run by the Hans then, because you've not seen any other animated stuff, and you've seen Mando season 2, right? How did you feel about the introduction of previously established characters? Because people do complain about Mando season 2. I don't get it personally. That you've got Ahsoka shows up and Bo-Katan showing up and Boba Fett showing up, and it's like, oh, there's too many cameos. But I kind of wonder, like, if you didn't know that these were characters from another show, would you have known? Because here's a question, Sam. You know Cobb Vanth?
Yeah.
Did you know he's a previously established character?
No. I did not know that at all.
He's from a book. He's from the Aftermath novels. But you didn't know that. As far as you were aware, he was just a character in that episode. Just like Greef Karga or Cara Dune, cancelled. Or, literally any other character from the show. Bo-Katan, I kind of think of any of the major cameo characters, I feel like she probably works best as like, as far as you're aware, she's just another Mandalorian who shows up. But this one is from a different group who have different ideas, and it turns out she's like used to be a part of the government or something. Used to be an important person. It feels like you don't need to know all the previous backstory for her. Then Ahsoka, maybe starts to tread on a little bit more of a murky water
Right,
there.
everyone, it's time for religion.
Want forgiveness? Try religion. I didn't watch all of season 2 to be honest, but I knew them from the discussions and everything. However, my main issue was with a formerly unique thing being opted for Dave's same old storylines. I have a problem with Star Wars and retreading the same old character plots, and I am in favor of the universe getting expanded, not converging on a handful of chosen ones. I don't see. There's no chosen one story in Mando season 2. I think the plotline in season 2 is fine enough, and it continues on from the first season. The only difference is that it starts to incorporate more a wider universe, and less of just like the bounty hunters of Navarro. And I think it does it well. Personally. I also season 2 also has my favorite episode of the whole show, The Believer, aka the Bill Burr episode. Genuinely, I think that is my favorite of all 3 seasons.
What, season 2?
Yeah, the
Operation Cinder, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, the one in which Operation Cinder gets name dropped. Reg says, I know you make Souls games look piss easy, but I know inside you're cacking it. This is not hard, boss.
This is actually really relaxing.
Pinwheel.
This is actually lovely as far as Souls bosses go. And that's the Fool's Idol done. Come here, you fucking Ouija.
Well, what I mean is that somehow Star Wars always ends up thematicizing? Using the same theme of central conflicts, of the same central conflicts, and reheating the same old characters. It converges. You have point there. I think it's kind of a problem with they are choosing to keep telling stories in this same very tight time frame. I think as long as we are still telling stories between movies, we're going to have this problem of like very similar things, very similar like Rebels versus Empire, rebuilding Jedi, finding new Jedi,
getting dragged
all
off.
this kind of stuff. Shit, too late.
It's too late for me. So.
Yeah, it would be good to tell some stories either in a very different time period or in a very different place in the galaxy. Not suggesting this as like a series or anything, just a food for thought here. So I'm reading the Thrawn Ascendancy novel at the moment, and what I find interesting is that it's taking place in a part of the galaxy in the unknown regions where every single alien race, except for the Chiss, is unique. All of the politics are unique. There's no mention of the Republic. There's no mention of the Clone Wars, which I think is happening at this point in the timeline. There's no mention of anything happening outside of this corner of the galaxy. You know? So it's all about these civilizations, and it's like, basically, it's like Stellaris is just happening, and and the Chiss are caught in the middle of all this little minor conflict happening in their corner of the galaxy. Like, if you did a series like that, just involving completely different stuff. No stormtroopers, no Jedi.
No maidens.
No maidens.
Or played a part.
Or, of course, like, back in time or forward in time. I'd be perfectly happy to see some Old Republic stuff. I don't know if I necessarily want just them to adapt to the games, you know, point for point. I think maybe, like, KOTOR 1 would be a starting point. Maybe, like, a movie or 2 movies there, and then from there you can kind of expand it out. I don't know.
Thou seekest then touch
I don't know.
soul of the mind, key to life.
Into life's ether.
Anyway, there were still more comments we didn't see here.
Fucking.
Oh, Brockman's here. Or he was here. I'm not sure if you still are. Sorry. Are Mandalorian seen as a good Star Wars series? It was. Season 1 and 2 of Mandalorian was critically acclaimed, wasn't it?
It was very
Really?
good.
Especially Season 1. It was. Very good. Avengers. Season 3, I'm not a fan of at all. I think Bo-Katan is pretty, and that's the only positive thing from Season 3. I will ride or die with the Bane trilogy. but you can miss me with that Yu Zhong Vong shit. Me and Sam were just talking about this earlier. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Vong.
Let strength be granted, so the
The
world
whole
may be
idea just,
mended.
I don't know, it just doesn't really do it for me.
It's too 40k. It's too grimdark.
Yeah.
Andor is... Oh, Lily needs to finish Andor. Yes, you do. Andor is by far the most mature show. It's Rogue One as a series. It's why it's not as popular. Cause kids, cause attention spans. Why they always talk, no pew-pew. Yeah, I think that's the main reason. It's it doesn't involve a very nostalgia-heavy character to get people in seats. Well, in front of their screens.
In front of the telly.
Yeah, it's not like got the Mandalorian and Grogu, or you know, Ewan McGregor or someone like that in it. But yeah, it's the weird irony though. It was still a very good show.
My only problem.
I just hope season 2 continues to be good despite the actor strike impacting it.
My only problem with Andor, they solved about halfway through the series anyway. It was not enough aliens, and then more aliens started appearing, and then aliens had prominent scenes once
They could
or
have
twice.
more.
They can have more, but the fact they actually remembered, oh wait, this is Star Wars, like that, you know, that was refreshing.
Mm-hmm. There are times where I can't help but think Andor's a little bit too not set in the Star Wars galaxy. It doesn't help that it actually was filmed in locations in Scotland where I have been in reality, and I'm like, ah yes, that's just a fence that I have seen. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not Star Warsy at all.
I think I know where you're talking about. I know where you're talking.
Yeah, the dam, the Aldani Dam.
Yeah.
That's the Star Wars name. I forget what its actual Scotland name is.
What do you...
Anyway, yeah, it's good. Oh yeah, and the real thing, which I feel like people keep arguing with me on this, even though I'm objectively right. The rebels just using AK-47s, not even like specified. Just AK-47.
They're AK-47s, but they've painted them fully black, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is also just called an AK-47 painted black, which you could also get
in reality,
like at the gun shop.
Yeah, I know. But you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
It was the AK-47 without any of the magic wood bits. There we go. The bits that also make it the Chinese assault rifle.
Let's not go down. Yeah, and everyone always goes, actually, Stephen, you don't realise they've always been... No, they haven't. They take real guns in Star Wars, but they like remove parts and add parts, and they make it look different. This isn't that. This is just an AK. There's nothing changed. Anyway, sorry, just a little bit of a bugbear.
Bear bugs.
Bear bugs? I'm going to segue back to Starfield, just you watch. Clone Troopers, amazing visuals. Battle Droids, amazing visuals. Dune, don't know anything about it, but cool visuals. Starfield does nothing for me. The movie Rogue One, I liked what they tried to do story-wise, but not sure if the movie managed to tell a story. This, I don't know if you heard my point earlier, but this is I love Rogue One, for the record. It's one of my favorite, well, certainly one of my favorite of the Disney movies, possibly most so. But it has that problem of it's always filling in the gaps between the other movies. It's not really telling its own, straight from the ground thing. Like, the original Star Wars movie was like creativity, just incarnate, basically. Everything was brand new. Everything was wacky, everything was crazy. And every Star Wars movie under George Lucas tried to be different and do something different, for better or worse. People complained. But at least they tried. And then Rogue One was taking the very, very familiar, then just expanding on what had already been done. I think it did it very well. It's a fucking stunning movie. The cinematography was great. The battle scene at the end is one of the best in the series. Sam has changed character, I've just realized. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just filling in the gaps, which isn't so compelling. It's not exactly something that brings in new people to the franchise. It just makes already established fans happy. Star Wars has real aliens, unlike Star Trek, which has bloke with long ears, lady with bum head, and man, but he's from a planet of racist blonde sex addicts. Oh yeah, I remember that episode. Datura had to leave for a bit. What are we talking about? We're talking about everything. We've just been going on about Star Wars for like the last hour.
Like,
We've said everything there is to say. You're too late.
yeah, we're literally probably going to wrap up now, to be honest. I don't really want to do all of the stuff with.
You're not going to go after the man.
I'm not doing man-eater on this stream. Not that. It's a big area. Like, we've basically got about 1.5 streams of this left. Well, let me think. Actually, no, we've probably got about probably 2. But the last
2 streams?
Yeah, I'd say we've got Man-Eater and the
Man-Eater.
Penetrator, and then the final stream will be King Alan and King Alan.
I mean, assuming King Alan doesn't take like more than 1 or 2 attempts, I reckon you could possibly do it all in one stream.
I guess we could try and go for a very sort of chunky stream. Get Demon Souls done in 5 episodes. Or would it be 6 now? Probably. Let's check. Yeah, it would
King
be 5.
Alan?
Yeah, it would be 5.
Yeah, you've just got to go.
Do Man-Eater, figure out that route. Kill Man-Eater, and then, like, all of the stuff in Boletaria is... It's damagey, but fairly quick to get through. Like, it's just a lot of running through an area to get to a boss.
Sorry, I'm just reading chat. Also, yes, Lily, I just didn't want to be pedantic and say AK-74 and then confuse the non-gun people who don't know that that's a thing. But you are right, it's AK-74s are what you tend to actually see. Rockman's telling you to play Starfield next.
Don't want to play Starfield next. Again, if
Steven,
I play that,
when
it'll
do we-
be in my own time.
Yeah.
Or it'll be
When
on...
do we get an Abe's Odyssey anniversary stream? We'll play Abe's Exodus.
Yeah, Abe's Exodus stream. Why not? Why not a Munch's Odyssey stream?
I have that game, I've just never played it.
What about the Bounty Hunter one?
I think I have that also. We got to do an Abe's Odyssey retrospective one of these days.
I actually think you should give it a crack. It'll be probably an easier Turok styled one to do, where you can just sort of blart it out.
Easier has to play Abe's Odyssey, one of the hardest hunting games. Sure. You gotta do some retrospective at all one of these days, you lazy bum. I know. How can I get any fucking retrospecting done when everyone's constantly goddamn streaming? This is the problem.
But again, this is why you have to be a bit of a cunt, and I hate to say this, but you know, I'll be the one to say it.
People's streams
Sometimes you've just got to say no to go into a stream sometimes, or just not do one yourself, because otherwise it will just be streams the whole fucking week, and that is not a slight on anyone. It's a good thing that we're all sort of trying to do something. But like, if I was to go to like every fucking stream that someone wants me to see, including the people that aren't linked to RSG, I would be watching streams like a cunt all day, every hour. You rube.
Rube. Anyway, I think we're done.
Yep.
I've decided for you.
Thank you.
Nah, you were. I know you already said.
Right, I'll give everyone a little wave.
Search for Gary Whitta, one of the screenwriters for Rogue One. He's doing an Xbox podcast weekly, and it's kind of funny. Okay.
Right. Have a good night, everyone, and
Good night.
don't watch too many live streams.
Speaking of which, live stream tomorrow. Fallout 3.
Good
night.
Good night.